My next guest got back in the win column, a really impressive victory over Jim Miller at UFC Fight Night on February 18th. It's Alex Hernandez back here on the program. Alex, how are you, man?
Good, man. Excited to be back. It's been a minute.
Yes, it has. We're a few days removed. Just how much weight was lifted off your shoulders? You had a short notice opportunity, took a bit of a risk, and it paid off.
Yeah, awesome, awesome moment of growth for me. Jim Miller was a great dancing partner in that fight. You always love a quick finish, but I needed that kind of a fight where the guy wasn't going to go away and I could challenge myself and grow over the course of 3 rounds. So, dude, cloud nine.
Yeah, no, I bet, man. Obviously, Miller's a pretty durable guy, a notable name in the division. You're pretty familiar with it, I'm sure, when you took this fight. But was there anything about him in the fight that maybe surprised you, something maybe you didn't expect in there?
Yeah, I knew he was going to be tough. Maybe not that tough. I kind of thought that I was going to be able to. There's at least one instance every round that I thought, oh, I think I'm about to wrap this up. And he would kind of bust back with a flurry, and then his eyes would be back, and he just looked like he was ready to go again. I was like, shit, man. Just another level of veteranship. And the blitzes he was running on me, where he would hit those darts and he would come back, he'd blitz with like a 4-punch combo. I think that was something they crafted quick for the fight, so I was kind of surprised with those. The speed of his kicks. He got in a nice head kick in the first round, and then he blitzed me afterwards. And I wasn't going to fold on any of that. I felt good with that kick. That kick landed solid, and I guess I started really getting the timing and range for him after maybe the first couple minutes of the first round. But those kicks were still, man. Those were pretty fast. The kicks were quick.
I know you're training all the time, but what type of camp did you have leading in there just with the short notice?
Um, Man, an angry one. I was mad at myself just for my last year. So I was I was already in the gym grinding, getting ready for something, and I just happened to be talking to my manager the week before, talking about the forecast for spring, what's out there, and he mentioned that Miller just lost his opponent, and I was like, I mean, is that something real? Could we potentially step in on that next weekend? Of course, I was trying to get my weight down in the 60s to start getting ready for the 45 cut, and I knew that the 55 would be pretty easy on a short notice. So it ended up coming together pretty nicely, and we just stepped up with not too much time to overthink it. If there's anything my last fight told me was that there's nothing physically wrong. It's definitely a mental error. Physically, I feel more confident than ever. So uh, where I was at in approaching this fight, my mind was right. I wanted it. I really wanted to fight. I was enthusiastic about it. And man, I hadn't been like really enthusiastic about something in probably the last year. So it was a good coming together, culmination to get this one.
How did you celebrate after the fight?
Modestly, yeah, modestly. Just had my team and a little bit of family, a couple of friends, and uh, you know, just had some subpar sushi at the New York. Had some sake bombs. We hung out, and we just yeah, we just hung out. We were actually in bed, probably right before 2 a.m. So pretty responsible night, and I stuck around an extra day just to catch up with the management crew and some friends and like I said, family that were in town. And with the exception, I got to get my left hand X-ray. See that mullet? Look at that.
Yeah.
Um, so I got to get that image today after this call. I'm actually going to go take care of that. And barring that being okay, I'm ready to go. I was back in the gym, at least running this week and moving around. So really, it's just healing up my left hand. Once my hand's good, um, I'm trying to fight in the spring. So.
Excellent. Now you mentioned staying the extra day, talking to your management. Has there been any feedback from the UFC? Because they must have been happy not only with the performance, but the fact that you stepped up on short notice, you sort of saved this fight. There's got to be some good vibes from them just with everything that happened on last weekend.
We definitely got some good vibes. I went from walking the plank to steering the ship. So we're back. We got a new contract.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, good exchange with Sean Shelby. And so, yeah, I'm in good graces.
I was going to say big weight lifted
Yeah.
off your shoulders, because I know that's always the
Yeah.
worry. I know, again, the contracts aren't
Yeah,
guaranteed, but
absolutely. Absolutely.
still, it's to get that contract. Because this is what, contract number 3, right, for you?
No, man, this is like
Is it more than that? 4?
five or six.
Is it 5 or
Five or
6? Oh
six.
man, I'm just,
Because
you
I
know what
had
it is? The
yeah, I had
time's
the
flying
first
by, man. I feel like it
dude,
was
it
just
actually
yesterday.
does.
We were in Calgary,
Yes.
you know? So,
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, because the Calgary was a new one. The Sturdy was a new one. Gruchmark was a new one. Moicano was a new one. This one's a new one. So I think this is the 5th one.
good stuff. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sort of talk about there, just waiting to see the hand, looking at the spring. Is there any cards you're kind of looking at getting on, or is it just more of like what fights available? And I know you've also mentioned about going back down to 45. Is that ideal? Is just, you know, getting a fight at 45 in the spring if the hand's all good and ready to go?
If I can, you know, if we can book something out, great. If not, just because I am trying to get something on the fly, just whatever opportunity kind of presents itself, like this last one, is really what we're looking for. I've got some wedding to get to in Italy in May, so I really, I told Jason I just need to get some action before we leave to that. So I want to fight before then, have like a little load off overseas, and then come back and bust out another 2 or 3 before the year's over.
Who's getting married in Italy? Like a fellow fighter?
No. It's one of my girl's friends.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, you got to go to those. That's important.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, it's just not a great year for that. She's like, when the hell else are we going to go? I'm like, we go whenever, okay? We don't have to go right now. But we committed, so we're doing it. And having this fight already at the beginning of the year already set the tone off right. So I really do think I can get in, again, just barring this hand's okay, which I think it'll be – I'm hoping it'll be okay. Man, I'll be back in the cage in April. I'm hoping so.
Will that be lightweight? Because I know it takes a bit for you to get to 145. Is that kind of what you're thinking if it is a shorter notice fight?
If I can just keep hanging out around the upper 60s, I'll go featherweight. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's just kind of you know, this whole career has been a series of growing pains. But now the weight class change is just kind of getting my footing right and figuring it out. 55 is so easy, and I'm not a big 55. If I look big in there, it's more of me just being water saturated. You know, just kind of being full with water. I don't look, you know, like I'm leaned out and I'm on my, you know, last dollar trying to make it. So 55 is like, you know, it's no problem. And at the top, man, size matters. And those guys are definitely, you know, making it by the skin of their teeth. So I want that competitive advantage as well, because I've definitely felt the disparity of it at 55, and I'm used to feeling that. So I would fight 55. Another fight made sense, like a Miller, who's not a giant 55er. He's a solid 55. But I want to make my run in 45. I do. And I believe it's super, man, I believe it's super attainable. I don't think I'm not even the biggest 45 in the division, man. I know some of the guys, even going out this last trip and networking with some of the guys out there and talking to them at the PI, you know, I'm like, no, this division makes sense. It does.
And any opponents in mind? I know you'll fight anyone, but I'm sure you're looking at the roster. There's a lot of fun matchups at featherweight. That's the other thing too.
Yeah, there is. And truthfully, I don't have anything in mind. I need to become more familiar with it. You know, I'm not familiar enough with what the landscape looks like, honestly.
What's the plan for the rest of the week? You got to get your hand checked. You got anything planned? I know usually when you're in like fight camp, or I know this was a shorter one, but usually you neglect a lot of things. You got anything planned? I'm sure you'll do a bit of training, but what else you got on the agenda?
I mean, man, this whole year is just complete grind mode. Like I said, the only thing I got planned is that wedding that we're gonna, you know, we gotta do. So everything else around is just good work, and I'm really motivated. I'm really excited, and so I just want to keep and can't let my fat ass get too heavy. So I got to stay at it, stay eating correctly, and just moving forward. I really want to redeem this year. So.
And I got to remember how long it's been now, but I know you've been in Colorado for quite a while now. You've been accustomed to the team. And I talk to so many of your teammates. I interview a lot of them, and they just talk about just the camaraderie that you guys have sort of developed there. Talk a bit about that and just, you know, really gelling in with the team. Because I know there was a point you were looking at a couple teams, and Factory X was the one that sort of, you know, led the way, and you've been there ever since.
From the coach down, the culture. Every team's got, you know, their sense of brotherhood, but I can't help but think that we just do it better. We do. We've got so much fun, so much diversity, such like a cool dynamic, and everyone's always jumping in each other's corners for fights. And it's, you know, fight weeks are a blast. They're so much fun. So the training's top notch. It's super competitive. I mean, super competitive. But we're always bullshitting with each other, and truthfully, we're probably all hanging out like too much, because it's like kill each other during the week, and then we all kick it during the weekend. So it's it's a hell of a family, man. It's awesome.
It's great. Alex, congrats on the win. Looking forward to what's next. In the meantime, if you got anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
San Antonio, Texas, and Ohana Academy Northeast. Check us out. Appreciate you, James.